Welcome, boys and girls. We're going to see what our next TinkerCAD project is. The plan is to work our way towards something that we could possibly 3D print. You could bring your designs in or stop in later in the school year if we're back, or we can arrange a time in the fall. But really, what we're doing is trying to work our skills up for that. So that's why you've been doing some of these TinkerCAD things. It's great because you can do it on almost any computer. And the opportunity to do it now during virtual learning makes a lot of sense to me. So I'll try not to bore you completely to death with this, but today you're going to get to do a little bit of freedom of choice because your final project that we'll be working towards in TinkerCAD will be to make that 3D printed object. So having a little bit of freedom will be kind of fun. We're going to make a mask. So I am going to, or a face. So I am going to shrink myself and put myself up there. You can see some sort of basic mask that I made right here in my area. If you are in your design area and you're signed in, you might notice that some of the things that you made during the tutorials is missing. To get to that, if you ever want to edit, to resubmit it, so on, you would just go to lessons and it saves itself into your student file that I can view at any time. So if you make an edit to it, I can go in there and check it out and see if you made a change. I'm going to go to 3 designs. I'm going to start with a create a new design. And like I said, I'm just going to make a silly face, some kind of a face. You can put your own freedom into it. Just so you know, as you do this, you really want to start with a solid base for the head. So you could maybe make a sphere. If you want to drop a sphere in, you could drop a cube in or a cylinder. I'm going to go with a cylinder like I had in my other one. And I'm going to change the sizes. So I'm going to use my scroll on my mouse to kind of zoom in. You can use plus and minus over on the side if you'd like to. It's over in this direction if you can't quite see it on the recording. And I'm just going to kind of stretch this thing out and make kind of a size. You could type in numbers if you want. That looks pretty good to me. I'm going to kind of use my right mouse button and rotate down to pull this to something thinner. And now I'm back to where I was right here. I'm going to kind of move it around there. If you like to change the view so that it is a little more in the orthographic or in the perspective, whether it's a little more realistic or like if it were drawn on paper, you can flip between those, whichever looks best for your eyes. I'm going to drop a few spheres in here. I'm going to put one over there, and I am going to shrink it so that it is smushed pretty flat, as you can see there. And I'm going to bring it in like this. Let's flatten it some more. Looks pretty nice like that. And I am going to actually, I'm going to delete it. I just found a mistake. We'll use this as a learning opportunity. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to bring my work plane in. I want to actually draw those and make those my eyes. So I'm going to bring my work plane in so that I'm on the top surface of this. Before it was working on the bottom of my cylinder there. So I'm just going to work on the top. Bring that sphere back in. Let's bring it down really thin. Bring it down really small like this. I'm going to bring it over there. And I can make a copy. I could right click, I believe, or Control C or something like that, but I'm going to just go up to, or look at that. Look at it. It tells me Control D. Duplicate and repeat. It puts another one right on top of where it was. Now, what's cool about this is we can do colors now. We can have our face be kind of silly with colors. If you decide to make these holes and cut them into the surface of the cylinder or cube or whatever you do, what's going to happen is it's going to make that hole or that divot the color of the larger solid. So if you want it to look nifty with colors, just leave them like this and you don't have to cut them out. Now I can put a scribble in. At first it's going to look just kind of like, whoa, what's happening with my scribble? That's not the shape I want. But I'm just going to say that I want it on the top somewhere in this general area. It's going to give me like a little drawing space right here. And I can start scribbling in something. So I'm just going to go like this. Make some kind of a clown mouth. Looks pretty good. It'll drop it in here and you go, oh, that's too big. That's fine. I can scale that down when I get back into the preview area. So sometimes it's like, what kind of space am I working with? That's going to be fine. I'm going to go done. And like we said before, I'm just going to kind of scale everything down. I'm going to make it a little thinner. And we're going to move it to where I want it. Oh, I want it a little off. Maybe we got a gingerbread mask, gingerbread face going on here. He's going to have purple lips. And we can get a little goofy with things if we want to. We could put in a donut. Let's make our donut orange. And I'm going to just bring these way down like this. And I'm going to duplicate it. Control Z is great. If you click somewhere you did not plan on, press Control Z, it'll undo. It's the same as this undo arrow right there. I've now got little ears I can put in here. That's optional if you want to put an ear in or not. Okay. Maybe you want to put in something for the center of the eyes. You want to put a nose in. You want to put some hair in. All right, we've got our mask. Everything's great. Give it a name. Mask. Modern Tech. You could put your own name in there. That's fine. It'll be visible for me when I sign in to look. So we'll make this nice and clear. What you are going to do is free draw some sort of a face or mask. The face or mask must have at least one eye. Maybe you're doing an alien or something. At least one eye. Must have a solid face piece of some kind to attach everything to. And it must have a mouth, and then one other feature. Okay, in my case, I did one other feature as my ears. You may do one other feature as a hat, as hair, as a nose, as a beard, as a small body, as a large body, whatever you want to add on there. But eyes, mouth, head, and one other feature. And you will receive all the points. And this is a great opportunity for you to just kind of let loose, not worry about being super technical and having things where they're supposed to be in any tutorial. So give this a try. Email me if you have problems, and be sure to subscribe. Or not.